Alright, today I'm going to make a layout using minimal products and some things I have in my stash. So, Valentine's Day specifically is a problem for me because I do think the papers are fairly cute, but I can't figure out how I would use a whole paper kit, because I really only would scrap one day. Now, sometimes when they go on sale, I think about maybe doing it for some fillers, because sometimes there's good B-sides. Like, this is super cute B-side. You don't have to use this for Valentine's Day. But being that everyone is on a budget and everything has gotten so expensive, I challenged myself to make a scrapbook page with only a few items, and I did not buy the whole kit. I only bought 3 pieces of paper with this kit. I bought Photoplay Love Letters. It's the Love Notes collection, which has this really cute B-side and these envelopes. But then, now the sticker sheet is, I think, $3.99 or $4.99. And again, I don't know if I would use all those stickers. So I decided I'm going to do the cut-aparts. And I'm going to make a layout using cut-aparts. So I bought this one, which I don't really care for this side because the red isn't the same red that's on the cut-aparts. So, I mean, if you use this, and they also look a little blurry. I don't know if you can see that. So this is not my favorite paper, but cut-aparts, super cute. I specifically love this, and some of these sayings, very cute. Then I bought the other cut-apart sheet that also has some cute, I mean, I could see making some cards out of this also, but there's some really cute, like the journaling, the cherries, super cute. So these, I'm going to make a page using these 3 sheets. Now, this side, I love. So I end up using some of the cut-aparts, and then what I don't use, I use this side. So, like, I use here and here. And then this square right here, I used this side. So the other thing I decided was, I looked through my stash, I needed one more piece of paper. I have this paper that is actually from a collection that's a digital collection, and I printed it on my printer because I don't need a 12 by 12 paper for what I was going to use it for, so this worked out good. So this is actually a scrap of it, but this is the paper I printed on 11 and by 8.5 paper, and I used that underneath for tucking pieces because I needed to break up some of this color, but it matches, so it works. So that's what I feel like. You can go through your stash and find things that work so that you don't have to buy the whole kit. The other thing that I end up using in my stash is I have this stamp set that I haven't used yet that I got from the Dollar Tree. And for $1, I think at the time this was still $1. I don't see stamps there very often, but I thought these were really cute. They don't have a lot of stamps, and when they do, I don't always like them, but these I thought were really cute. You don't even have to use them for Valentine's Day, but I thought these would be cute, so I'm going to use these. I got these brads at a garage sale. They were tucked in with a bunch of other stuff. So I'm going to use these. And then these are from the dollar store. They're not my favorite. I have them, so I'm going to use them. The foam dots, but when they're gone, I won't be buying them again, I don't think. They are super sticky, so these don't come off. I ended up using this, which was also from the Dollar Tree. I love this tool. It's super sharp. You can actually hurt yourself, but you can stab these and pull the adhesive backing off. But it ends up sometimes pulling the sticky off. They're a nightmare. And then I end up having to add glue. So I don't think I'll be buying them again. But I use this tool for that. And in the video, you will see I also use this tool to put the brads in. So let me put this to the side and then we will get started. So here I already cut out a few of the cut aparts that I knew I wanted to use. But now I want to square up this cupcake paper so that I can use that side in my layout. I really didn't start with a plan other than use cut aparts, and some of the cut aparts I already knew I liked, which is why I picked these pieces of paper. But other than that, I had no real plan, so you're sort of seeing me here kind of work through what I want to do. I decided I knew I wanted to use the cupcake, so I fussy cut that out, and I knew I wanted to pop it up, so I put some little foam dots that I got at the Dollar Tree, which are super sticky and not my favorite, but I want to use them up. I don't think I'll be buying them again, even though I think they were a decent deal, but they're really high and really sticky, so they're really annoying to work with. So here I'm just sort of moving around papers to see what ones I like. That one is also from my stash, just like the striped ones that is from, I believe, a digital kit. I have quite a few digital kits because I started as a digital scrapbooker. Because of being a graphic designer, I kind of ended up starting that way. But then I found that it was just too much on the computer. My job's on the computer, then hobbies on the computer. So then I started in 2020 deciding to do actual like printed physical scrapbooks, which is much more satisfying. But that means I have all these digital kits on my computer that I can use. Now, not everything, a lot of them in the kit are kind of meant to use online, like paint splats and stuff like that. But I would say half of each kit I could print out and use. So for Valentine's Day, like I had said in the beginning of my video, I don't, what is that, 1 page a year? I decided that because I love these papers so much that I was going to use those, but then try to really use my digital stash as well to fill in the holes. So the picture that I think I'm going to use is just one picture that me and my husband took at a diner that we really like, that we went to for breakfast. We really didn't celebrate Valentine's Day much other than that. I think it was just, the same routine of kid stuff and work and things like that. But we did take some time with just me and him to go to our favorite diner. So we snapped a quick picture, a little selfie out front. So that's what I plan on using in this 3x4 photo, which is where that little smiley face is going to go. So I'm just kind of going through my stash, going through the cut aparts, seeing what works. Like I said, I have no plan. I'm literally just filling in the puzzle pieces. I really like Tetris. I played it a lot as a teenager. So I feel like my Tetris skills are sort of coming into play, where I'm tucking pieces in and putting other parts in and seeing what works and what looks good. And then kind of going from there and limiting myself to what I have right in front of me. This cut apart is the one with the cupcake that I just cut the cupcake out real fat, like real quick, right next to where my hand is right now. And I decided there was a bunch of cute ones on there, so I'm cutting those out. And then I also end up cutting out the little coffee cup because we were there for breakfast. So I thought that that was fitting. And then that cut apart had, which is why I really liked it, it had different size cut aparts. It wasn't like all 3x4s or all, it had like smaller stuff and word strips. So I feel like it was a really usable cut apart. This was a photo play. So that was a big thing I was looking for when I decided that I'm gonna, challenge myself to mostly just using that and seeing if I can make it look like a full page. I really like this thought of trying to force myself to, I mean, I have a lot of cut aparts and kits that are just sitting there. So this was like the first time that I decided to really challenge myself and fussy cut out stuff, which is not my favorite thing to do, but I'm getting better at it. So here I decided to lean into this black color. I was going to do some splats on this page in two corners. So I got some black ink that I have in my stash, and the dropper wasn't giving me, I wanted kind of like some big splats, not just these little ones. So I ended up getting a brush. I mean, even the fan brush wasn't giving me, was giving me these little splats. I have to work on it. Giving my, like, learning like the right way to hit the brush, or hit the brush off of that will give me the kind of splats that I want. So I was kind of messing around with that. I got the dropper again to try and get some big dots on, and so when I'm done with that, I set that aside to dry, and then I decide to use the black frame. So I'm gonna gut that. I almost always gut them at an inch, because I usually, if I'm gonna put a frame around it, it's usually only about an eighth of an inch or a quarter of an inch sticking out. Cut this out, and then end up using the inside of the black paper, since I know it's the same color, to stamp the stamp set that I have, and then use some red embossing. These stamps ended up stamping really well. I'm curious on how they stamp in black, because the VersaFine, they did great. I think I only stamped them once, and they did really well. I know that they can't be made out of the good material. I actually didn't look at the package to see if it says what they're made from, but they seemed pretty good. I mean, maybe they won't hold up with time. But for $1.25, I was willing to give it a shot. I might even have got them when it was $1. So I'm really proud of myself because I remembered to use the powder, because I never remember. And then I end up with a mess, and I end up having to do it twice. But I remembered this time, so I was super proud of myself, because I don't know why. I put it in front of me, and I still don't remember to put on the powder before I do embossing. So now I got red out of my stash. It's very red. I mean, it's so bright. I mean, it looks good on the black, but I was a little like, whoa, this is really bright. It's almost like fluorescent red. So I pour it back in. I always use the paper method. I know some people use coffee filters. I haven't tried that one out yet. And I always spill a little, like I said, messy scrapper. But this little vacuum cleaner that I got on Amazon, that USB charges, gets all the embossing powder off my surface, even the paper. I highly recommend picking one of those up. They're super cute. And it was like $15. I don't even think it was that much. So now I have to go back to my good old fussy cutting. I used a Swiffer, or those are from the Dollar Tree as well. The little wipe that I used. It's like the dusting in a box. Come in a box. I leave one in my drawer, and it cleans off the powder great. And I skipped ahead, and if you've seen the corner, I did fussy cut out those stickers or stamps. And I'm just checking to make sure my ink is finally dry, which it is, before I decided to turn it over and start putting my page together with double-sided tape, with my tape runner. That paper's cute too, with the envelopes. But since we were at the diner, I wasn't mailing anything, so it didn't go with my theme. But it is really cute. I have a hard time when both sides of the paper is cute. How do you decide? Then I go with the theme. I'm a big theme scrapper. So now I skipped ahead, and I put the stuff back, the elements back where I wanted them, and I picked out some brads that were in my stash. I got these at a dollar store. Or no, these I got it at a craft, like, garage sale. I love those. I wish people had more of them. And that piece of foam is actually packaging from a delivery that I put to the side because I knew it would help with putting in brads. So I could just poke through the paper really hard with that pink tool, which is also from the dollar store. And I always use that for brads. It's been holding up really well. And then I put washi tape that I'm not going to use on the back to keep it, the other page that will go behind it, safe. And some finishing touches, I decided to use some black Nuvo drops, and the other color I had was red pops of color. I find the Nuvo drops way easier to use than the pops of color. I think the pops color work great, like pushed through a stencil because they're thick, but I'm trying to make sort of what looks like enamel dots in those colors, and they like leave little like peaks that I tried. Then I have to like push down, and I think I ended up using the little pink tool that I was using to make the brads, to try and like flatten a little peak. Whereas the Nuvo drops don't do that. So I have them. I think I got them on a sale. I have like a whole set of them. So I'm trying to use them before they dry up, but I don't think I'll use them for enamel dots again. I think I'll try to just use them pushing through a stencil or some other things. They remind me of the paint they used to use to decorate t-shirts with. And now the page is done and ready for a photo and some journaling. Thanks so much for watching. Have a crafty day.